Audio Marks coming to you from the Sage and Public Library. Welcome to the Marks for Life podcast with your hosts, Jimmy, CJ, Joe, and Jared. The undisputed era of podcasting for casuals turned Marks wrestling fans to give you a direct line to all things in the squared circle. Enter the ring at your own risk. We pull no punches, we hit hard, and we will slam you with all the info you need to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Break open that champagne glass and enjoy a little bit of the bubbly. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Marks for Life podcast. I am the greatest host ever to grace this podcast, CJ.
Yeah, you can't even do your normal intro anymore because you're not the champ. You don't even know what to do with yourself.
You just don't want to defend at Saudi Arabia.
No one wants to defend it at Saudi Arabia.
You did last time.
Yeah, and I lost it.
You're scared.
I'm not doing this again.
You're scared.
I'm not losing my belt to a pay-per-view I can't even watch.
To be fair, none of us watch it. We just use it.
Yeah, we're not using this. We're not doing this.
Oh, come on.
No, it's not happening. Jimmy, do your thing.
I'm your other co-host, Jimmy.
Good job, Jimmy. You did it all by yourself. So proud of you.
I don't know what to say at this point. I haven't been on here in so long. And yet I post every single episode.
Yeah, you keep it going for us, buddy. Appreciate it.
I put everyone else before myself. That's all.
Yeah.
Anyway, what a crazy week, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Saudi.
Well, I think that's just like the crap. That's just like a little crap cake. That's at the end of the week.
It's NXT Takeover week. All right, it's a good week. This is a good week for wrestling.
They still lost to AEW in the ratings.
No one cares. No one cares. They're still both are successful. Stop being an anus. You have no women's division.
Vince McMahon doesn't care.
He
doesn't care.
Where's Joe to talk about the XFL?
Yeah, I watched it.
Oh, how was the XFL?
How was it? I heard a lot of mixed things that were actually surprisingly good.
It wasn't. I would not call it bad at all. Bad would not be a good word for it.
I've heard a couple of interesting things that. Is it actually more interesting, like from a football perspective? Like I'm actually curious about this.
So here's the drawback of the XFL. Just quickly, the talent obviously is like way below the NFL because all the good people are in the NFL. So these are kind of like the NFL rejects, or there's actually some people that.
So the Brock Lesnar's.
Yeah. Better than that. I mean, some of these guys, a lot of these guys were in the NFL at one point, actually played, started, Then there's other guys, there's some cool stories out there, if you're ever interested, of these guys that never got drafted by the NFL. So this is their shot, and they're trying to get noticed by like the NFL or get so that's pretty cool too. So for some of these guys, it's just like they just want to play because they already played in the NFL, they're older, and other guys like this is my shot. The coaches, there's some coaches from past NFL, so it's a lot of those type of guys. There was a league, it was called the American Football Alliance of Football, the AAF.
That was what was his name? Not with Vince McMahon the first time they did XFL, the other guy.
Oh, Dick Ebersol?
Yeah, his son, he did that.
Oh, I have no idea who did it, but it was horrendous. It was like
that was the one like last year or like
the AAF was basically like similar skill level to the XFL, maybe even a touch worse, but just no like fanfare, like no rule changes. It was just like same NFL rules with worse players, and it bombed. It was horrendous. So the XFL has kind of similar talent to the AAF, but they do some twists, like to keep it kind of interesting. Like the play clock is shorter, so in the NFL you get 40 seconds to run a play. In the XFL you get 25.
Okay, that's actually pretty.
So it's a little quicker. In kickoffs, if you ever see a kickoff in the NFL,
yeah,
everyone's on the same line with the kicker and they all run. The kicker is on one line, and then the kicking team is on one side and the receiving team is on another, like 50 yards down the field, and they're all just next to each other. And the second the guy catches the ball to kick off, they go at it. So that's a little interesting. There's this double pass rule where, like, you can throw two passes if you go backward. Like, there's some interesting stuff.
That actually sounds more interesting than watching football. No offense.
It's
like
nowhere.
regular NFL stuff.
It's nowhere near the NFL. It's nowhere near the NFL. They use because the talent is so below the NFL that you need twists.
But like
things.
From like watching it from a TV perspective, it sounds different. That actually sounds more like interesting to watch.
No, it's not bad. I watched it. It wasn't bad. I've been watching the NFL forever, so it's like it's nowhere near as good as the NFL, and I don't think the XFL is competing with the NFL.
No, but it's like a healthy alternative that could be interesting fodder for.
Right. because the NFL isn't here right now. So from February to whenever this ends, June or I don't even know when it ends. Some
9. It's like what, 9 weeks?
Yeah, 10 weeks. So maybe
weeks.
Feb to May or something like that. It's a cool little thing, to watch some football. So I know it's good. It actually is pretty good. And they have a cool slogan for the love of football. That's like their tagline. So.
Okay.
It's not bad. And it's on ESPN, ABC. They got some good commentators. It's not like last time where Matt Vasgersian was in it and they showed cheerleaders half naked and he bashed it on air, and then got fired promptly. And then JR began to commentate the XFL.
JR commentated the XFL.
Yes.
Yeah, the original incarnate.
Not originally.
You need to watch the 30 for 30 for the XFL.
Yeah,
that was good. So good.
Not originally. They had a bunch of guys and they were showing all these women, and it was like it was just such a mess.
It was WWE, but
right,
football.
it was just too much. But it was too much, and there were these commentators like Matt Vasgersian. There was a camera when they came back from commercial break showing cheerleaders like super close up and showing like revealing things. And Matt Vasgersian said on air, "Well, I'm uncomfortable," and Vince canned him. Vince got rid of him.
How dare you be uncomfortable?
And JR commentated it. JR did it. Yep. So it was a complete mess. But this definitely seems a lot more legitimate and a lot better. But it also has those extreme those twists, those fast-paced twists.
They're not doing like the scramble or anything like that, they did. So the scramble, if this is going so back, so in the original incarnation of the XFL, instead of a coin toss to decide who.
Oh yes, they ran at each other. No, they don't do that.
They do the
no,
scramble.
They don't do that.
Because CJ looks so confused and doesn't know what we're talking about.
Amazingly
so basically,
horrible.
You put the football in the middle of the thing. You have one person from one team on the other end of a line, and the other person on the other line, and they go at each other
and dive for the football. And whoever gets it gets the ball first, or
and then the person that loses gets a head concussion.
Right. So because
that's not the worst idea.
People got hurt every time because you had two of their fastest players 20 yards away from each side, just running straight into each other, not even for any points, just for the right to kick off or get the ball.
Which on paper is not a bad idea.
Because it was interesting to see, but then people started dying. So it was like...
I was curious.
No, they don't do that anymore. Especially in this day and age with CTE and concussion prevention, you cannot do that anymore.
Not the worst idea.
It was an okay idea on paper, but then when you see it happen, you're like, there's a dead guy on the field, and all they got was the ball to start the game. Like, in my mind, I'm just like, yeah, Jared, go bull rush that ball. Do we get any points for it? No. You don't get anything. Like, it just did not
the worst.
The XFL, the first reincarnation of the XFL, was an extremely exciting train wreck. That's the best way to describe it.
That sounds like Attitude Era WWE.
It was right at the tail end of it. So you had...
Well, WWE is still a scripted entertainment. NFL football's like a professional sport. It's just...
Imagine
it was in
football.
arenas. It wasn't serious. It wasn't like serious football.
Well, it was... They made it that way, but it just didn't work. It didn't work. This is in stadiums. Like MetLife... Like, we have a New York team.
The New York
MetLife Stadium.
New York Guardians.
Yep, the New York Guardians. Yep, 1-0.
They're like
better than the Jets already.
The logo's like a lion or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's like some sort of lion
some
or whatever.
cougar, puma, wildcat, or whatever.
I think it's a lion.
I don't know. Who cares?
A wildcat.
But they didn't...
There are the Wildcats.
Yeah, there are Wildcats, though.
Fucking High School Musical bullshit.
Before we continue on with actual wrestling, I just do want to finish. There's one last thing for the XFL. I do miss that there's no Vegas Outlaws, though.
Oh,
that was my favorite team because of the one guy.
Oh, he hate me?
Yeah, God.
Rod Smart, he hate me.
Yes.
That's all people ever thought about with the XFL. Someone said last week is this is not he hate me anymore. The XFL is not they were trying to build it up because most casual people that didn't know anything about the XFL, all they knew was something called he hate me. That was it. CJ, did you know who he hate me is? Any idea? This guy Rod Smart, he was a running back, and he was their best player. He was actually really, really good, and he used to have this slogan called "He hate me." It was his way of trashing.
And it was
people.
on his on his jersey.
They wound up putting it on his jersey.
Yeah, because the thing that the XFL, which I actually kind of liked, instead of having the last person's name or just the number like they do, I think now, right?
Yeah.
Or they have they put their nicknames on it. So you see,
if you wanted, you could put nicknames, and he had
the best one.
Yeah, he hate
the
me,
best one.
and it was great. And he was the face of the XFL for that season. I mean, he was the big bright spot because he was really good and really entertaining.
Sport ball.
There you go, Jim.
All right.
There you go.
So that was our nice little 5 to 7 minute talk on the XFL.
There you go. Good luck, and hopefully it doesn't crash and burn like it did
Let's
last
go
time.
Guardians.
There you go. Let's go Guardians.
All
I'm
right,
not gonna
let's
lie,
talk about
best
wrestling.
name out of all the New York teams.
I think there's a team called the Roughnecks.
Yeah,
That's
there
pretty
is.
good.
The Houston Roughnecks, I think they are.
Yeah.
They really wanted to say Rednecks.
No, they didn't. It's Roughnecks.
Houston Rednecks.
Yeah, Houston Roughnecks. All right, let's get to actual wrestling.
Yes.
It's actually, Roughnecks is Houston. Dallas Renegades, DC Defenders. Sorry, I have to go off.
Why do we have to do this?
Seattle Dragons.
That's actually pretty cool. Dragons instead of Seahawks.
New York was had dragons for arena football. There was something called arena football where you played indoors.
Do they
And-
still have that? I was
No,
always
no.
curious about that.
Nah, it went away. It
Wrestling.
Last one, St. Louis Battlehawks. That's it.
Oh wow, Battlehawks! Hell yeah! All right.
If there's one thing WWE knows, it's just how to make really great names. Just look at Bronson Reed or Dolph Ziggler.
I've been calling Bronson Reed Jonah Rock for like ever because that was his indie name. So every time he comes out, I'm just like, it's Jonah Rock. Damn it! Like if I was in Morrow's shoes, I'd be saying it wrong every time.
No, I think you would be Nigel McGuinness. Joe would have to be Mauro Ranallo.
I guess I would have to be not at least not Beth Phoenix.
I don't know who would be Beth Phoenix. Jim?
Yeah, I guess Jim's Beth Phoenix.
I'll take what I can get.
You're
She
Kathy
survived-
Kelly. You're leaving.
For good reasons.
Did you hear Kathy Kelly's leaving?
Yeah, I did
No,
actually.
I did not though. So
Oh,
Yeah.
Kathy Kelly's leaving.
He's leaving.
Why specifically?
Just she wants to move on. Like this isn't like a leaving for a. I think she's just done. Like I think she's moving out of the country. Like I think she's doing this whole thing. She's leaving amicably. Takeover is going to be her last time.
Yeah, and
probably
they're
going to do something for
She's
her.
going to be doing something with Triple H too on the
Oh,
Facebook
really?
Live after the takeover
Oh,
too.
cool.
So
She's very good. I really enjoy her as like whatever you call a backstage reporter. I think she's very very good. So she will be missed for me. But all the best to her. She's leaving amicably. Everything's good. I would not expect her to turn up on AEW or anywhere else.
well,
I think
to be
she's
fair, they
leaving.
just signed a backstage reporter by the name of Diamond Dallas Page's daughter.
Oh, did they?
They did, and MJF's like, "You're welcome."
He is just the worst in the best way.
If you mean the best, then
Yeah, the
Did
best
you-
worst.
Did you see that match between Jungle Boy and MJF?
It was really good.
And I'm just watching. I'm like, this is the future I signed up for.
Oh, God.
I'm so hyped. I'm hyped for them. I'm hyped for Wardlow coming next week against
Yeah, Steel
Cody.
Cage. Steel
Yeah,
Cage,
and then you got Jeff Cobb, who's actually not signed to AEW.
No, not yet. He's
He-
still in Ring of Honor. Where is he?
He's
right now?
free agency with Ring of Honor New Japan.
Yeah.
So we have a Ring of Honor superstar, Ring of Honor wrestler, fighting a New Japan champion in an AEW ring.
Wow.
only in 2020.
Only in wrestling in 2020.
And it's televised.
Yeah, no, AEW's been good except for the women's division.
I like where they're going with Nyla Rose
Just
being the new
get-
champion.
Why? Why does Britt Baker not have this belt? She's so good. Did you hear that heel promo?
Oh my god,
She's so good.
she's so
Why
great.
does
on the-
she not just have this title and
You know
keep
what
it
I
forever?
don't like about how AEW does their commercials? Because they do like this really boss ass like backstage segment where you see Nyla Rose ripping into Kenny Omega and we can't fucking hear. Like that's why I love Sammy Guevara so much. And by the way, Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Ah,
revolution, yep.
Great.
Darby's going to get retribution, you would think, because, skateboard to the neck is not good for your health.
Sammy Guevara needs to win though.
Yeah, but it's a skateboard to the neck. I mean, like, come on. Come on now. I don't even know what else to say. I don't even know how else to argue this. If it wasn't a skateboard to the neck, if it was like your classic beatdown, I'd be like, all right, Sammy Guevara needs a win. But skateboard to the neck. Come on. All right, we'll see you in the Revolution picks in 2 weeks. Where we go.
I'm so excited for Revolution. I forgot
Revolution's gonna be
Portland
good.
was this week actually.
Oh, how can you forget this?
I haven't been
this-
watching NXT. I've been
What are
done with
you doing?
it. I watch anime. I've been watching NWA Power. which-
How is that?
It's not bad.
I hear it's pretty good.
It's really good, but not in like the traditional wrestling sense. It's very old school squash match, like competitive match here and there. There's no entrance music, which is very weird.
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting. Magnus or Nick Aldis is a bad guy.
Okay.
Okay.
They have a working relationship with Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
which I did not know.
That I know.
But
he's facing Marty Scurll for the title.
Yes,
whatever
yes.
their events are, or whatever.
They just brought back the Crockett Cup.
Oh, that's
which is
awesome.
going to be really
That's
good.
awesome.
You have Stu Bennett on commentary, which is formerly Wade Barrett.
Oh my God!
It's wild.
I was gonna download the. I've got some bad news for you, but I had
that'd be
no
great.
time this week.
Is Stu Bennett his real name?
Yeah, Stu Bennett's his real name.
That's his actual name.
That's actually a really good name.
That's to be
Wade
honest,
Barrett. No.
I mean,
I like Stu Bennett a lot better.
I mean, I didn't like thinking about it now. Like, why change it from Stu Bennett?
I know,
If
I
you're
feel
going
like
from Stu Bennett to Wade Barrett, it's
I
kind
feel
of
like Stu Bennett is a better heel name. It's like,
because you could still
what am I
do
supposed
Bad
to-
News Bennett.
yeah.
Like,
Well, I don't think he owns the rights to bad news, though. That's the problem.
but
I
regardless,
think
no, I'm
that-
saying like when he was in WWE, like I don't even think they had to change his name because they still could have done the Bad News
they
stuff.
just want
Well, I think
something
they
to own.
They didn't come up with the bad news thing until way later, though.
No, but
After
regardless,
after
like-
NXT.
Like saying,
The
like,
next
if
What's
that's
what's
what
a worse
forced them.
heel name, Wade or Stu?
Stu.
It's about the I didn't think
Fucking
either one.
Stu.
Like I don't even know if either one's worse, honestly. But I don't now knowing his name, I don't see a point in changing it. I didn't think there was a point
Trying
now.
to think. What
I think
else.
they didn't think like, okay, how's it gonna sound when we come up with a different kind of gimmick for Wade as opposed to Stu?
Bad News Barrett, Bad News Bennett.
Let's see. There's also
Pretty much works out either way.
Damian Sandow's in NWA. He's
Oh,
a
really?
champion right now.
Oh, good for him.
He's the national champion.
Under
and,
what name?
Aaron
Stevens?
Yes. And it's so funny because he's like he came back as this karate guy
Okay.
and he's a 3rd degree black belt in Mongrovian karate.
Oh my God. It's just like let's pick the most out there thing
Yeah,
humanly
and
possible.
it's so fucking over because he is a black belt. He's like, I'm a 3rd degree champion, and he just keeps pointing to the 3
Right.
stripes on his black belt.
That's really good.
And he has a manager named Question Mark, and he goes, "Oh, karate!" Like just it's so.
Oh my God.
It's not racist, but it's just hilarious.
It sounds racist.
He's not even from. No, here's the thing. They're from Monrovia, not even Mongolia. Monrovia.
That's made up. There's no Monrovia. What the hell's a Monrovia?
You don't know? It's right next to Wakanda.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's fantastic.
No,
Yeah,
but it's
exactly.
so funny.
Dude, this makes me want to watch Power.
It's so
right
great.
now.
The
It
the
sounds
hell's
characters
great.
are there
Monrovia?
on excellent. There's Melina, and Melina's a badass right now, and it's like I forgot how great she was, and I'm watching like she can still fucking kick ass. Trevor Murdoch is having a resurgence there.
All right, good for him.
I'm not sure if you remember Trevor Murdoch from wrestling back in the mid 2000s.
Sounds familiar. The name sounds familiar.
He was like a redneck.
Well, that doesn't narrow anything
Oh,
down.
man,
You know-
shit, was there any?
Was it Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch?
Yeah, I think so. There's like a really good match with I think
Yeah.
Trevor Murdoch in it. Does well
The
highlight. but
Rock
I,
and
like,
Roll Express
can't
is
remember.
very over for some ungodly reason.
Well, because it's NWA. Like,
And then they did because they also bring back some old stars. They have Nikita Koloff in there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he's like, some of you may know me from my world championship win, but you don't know me from afterwards. I found Jesus.
Oh my
yes.
God.
And I'm just like,
Fucking
what?
love this.
I'm just like, what am I watching?
Oh
and
my
I'm like,
God.
this is ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm trying to give it the benefit of the doubt so hard, and I'm just like, what am I watching?
I found Jesus.
Yes, and he's like, I've been traveling all over the world, spreading the word of God.
Aye. So he's a heel.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, great.
Any Jehovah's Witness is a heel.
Oh, so yeah,
that would be a great gimmick. Oh.
A Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, that'd be a great gimmick. Oh my God.
no, it's not Jehovah's Witness. It's McMahon's Witness. Have you heard about the word from our Lord and Savior Vince McMahon?
Oh, who would do
Wrestling
that?
God.
In main roster WWE, who would be that guy?
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler?
Dolph Ziggler.
I mean, in a way, yeah.
I think Dolph
I'm
Ziggler.
sure I'll be your mid-card champion all you want, so long as I get to be with all the hot chicks that I want.
Oh,
Basically-
poor Otis.
Poor
I
Otis.
remember Joe put it in the chat. He's like, "Yo, Otis gives me hope." Dolph
And there
Ziggler
went
is
the
like-
hope.
I know. I saw it on Twitter, and I was so upset. And then I saw her chat. He was
I
so
felt
upset.
so bad for Otis. Like
Yeah,
Otis
I mean,
is
like-
mid card champion material right now.
Yeah, I'm. It'll
Did
work
you-
out for
Did
him.
you hear his I don't know if you guys watch any of the WWE podcast stuff other than the. I know CJ watches the New Day one.
I
but,
gave up on that.
Oh, you did? Never mind.
I don't have enough time
But
anymore.
after the bell, like I saw this little clip thing that Corey Graves does.
oh,
for
with
after
the,
bell.
with the great grandma and the bear.
Yeah. I
The
thought it-
what now?
Oh man. So Otis was interviewed by Corey Graves for his podcast, whatever the fuck it's called. I think it's like after the bell. or
Yeah, it is after the bell.
After the bell.
Yes.
and he was talking about how his grandmother was an old school wrestler. No joke.
Oh no, she didn't wrestle a bear. I'm sorry.
No.
She was like a bear.
Yeah, she was like she was 5'5", 280 pounds, I think she said.
Oh my God.
And basically she'd be a traveling carny by night while doing her day job. So she would go into the ring and challenge any person to come out from the thing and try to body slam her, and none of them could do it.
They were
so
all
literally
plants,
she would just take him and just like freaking military press them out of the fucking
So
ring.
she was like a circus act, like back in the day. That's
exactly.
crazy.
Which is like,
But now we know how Otis gets his,
yeah, that's what he,
Stakes
that's
everything.
What he said. That's how he that's what he said though. Like that's how I got my whole thing.
Did he? How does he talk like on After the Bell? Like, is he still like? Is
I'm
he?
pretty sure he has
he's
an
more
accent
out of
still.
character.
He has a little bit of an accent, but like nothing like.
He sounds more like more normal.
He doesn't sound like a cartoon.
Right.
Hey, ducky.
Well, because I'm curious.
Sticks and weights, Matty.
I've never heard how he sounds like.
He sounds like a normal. He
sounds like a normal
I
human
imagine
being.
he's very educated. Like it's all an act, and he's actually British.
He's like, so I was studying at university.
And my mother,
What?
And my grandmother used to step into the ring and bench press these men out of the ring because they couldn't lift up this.
Now he sounds
280
fucking
My
Irish.
grandma used to take up fisticuffs. What? What is this? This is Twilight Zone?
Oh my god, I used fisticuffs for the first time in my family chat in a very long time. My sister's like, "What the fuck is fisticuffs?" And I
You're
just
like,
said
What
this
Otis's grandma used. That's your answer now.
fisticuffs. But yeah, congrats to Nyla Rose. I love NWA Power so far.
Yeah.
Fuck Val Venus.
Yeah, Val Venus is
Fuck
just
Val Venus.
I love
Honestly, just
All right.
fuck him.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to dive
too.
too much into
All
it,
right,
but
let's go next up. Let's go into WWE for a little bit. There's something we really want to talk about that Jimmy has no idea about.
Well, quickly, I would like to just say congratulations to The Rock's daughter for getting signed.
good job. What's
yes,
her name again?
Simone Johnson.
Yeah.
She's
I totally
18.
forgot that she had. I totally forgot that he had like an actual like adult.
No,
child.
really, really good. She signed to WWE. She said like this is what I
Fourth
want to
generation
do.
superstar.
Fourth generation superstar.
Very first.
I mean, really, really cool. Especially after Rocky Johnson passing. I mean, it's great. It just it continues the legacy. I can only imagine how The Rock feels about it. I mean, like they got to be just so happy.
I think it was Ryan Satin that posted about Charlotte Flair with Ric Flair in her corner versus Simone Johnson with
The
Rock in her corner.
Very cool.
At Mania.
That would be really. Supposedly, she definitely has obviously some work to do, but supposedly she's good. Supposedly she's good. So,
I'm very excited to see how her and Nia Jax interact. Because Nia Jax is The Rock's cousin.
Yeah, I'd be curious if
I
they
would like
would
to actually see Nia Jax period before I would see her interact. Like no offense, like I love Nia Jax. Like
Who do you think would be her first? Do you think they're gonna rush her to NXT?
Who,
No.
Botch Jax?
No, not Botcha Jax.
Okay.
Simone.
I'm not sure. I think they probably have to see how she goes in the Performance Center because
and then evolve and everything. So,
yeah.
we'll
Like
see how
she's
she
got
goes.
she's got to work her way up. I mean, she could just jump right into because again, it's not like when you go into NXT, you don't mature to WWE anymore. It's either like you'll be in NXT, you'll be in W. And I think they're probably more. I think she'd be better for the main roster just because she's it's The Rock and it's just she's got more.
We could see her feud with like someone like the Iconics or something like that as well.
Yeah, get like
But,
something
like-
easy, something a little
Yeah.
more digestible for her in the beginning. But yeah, she's got a lot to do. But definitely congratulations to her. I mean, wish
I know
her all
she
the
wants to
best.
stay away from the Rock name as much as possible.
Yeah,
so would she go by Simone Johnson?
Maybe, or maybe just Simone.
Or
I mean,
she try to revitalize the Maivia name.
No, Simone Maivia.
I don't know.
That actually works very
if
well.
I know WWE
Kinda-
because they love their only first names, she may just come in as Simone.
Simone.
Well, I think
It's really not that bad. I feel like just Simone is really not that bad. I feel like it's pretty good. I don't really mind it.
Simone.
Don't do that. Don't do
No,
that.
that's
Don't put
that's
that in
such
the
a
universe.
That's such a Vince McMahon thing, though. If you do the Simone, don't.
Oh no!
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that guy.
no. Please don't be Simone.
No, it's not going to be Simone. It's going to be Simone the Samoan. Get it right.
Simone the Simone. Oh god, that's better.
It's better in a
It's
worse
better,
way.
but worse.
It's
still.
better, but also worse.
Yes, congrats. I'm very excited to see where she goes. I think NXT would be better for her just right now because she could be under, like,
I think
Triple
it all
H's
depends
watch.
on how she matures. So if it seems like through the Performance Center and Evolve that she's really good.
Is she going
and-
through Evolve, like the company?
Maybe. I don't. It depends on her track. I don't know what her track's going to be. So it all depends on how she matures, and if they feel that she's good enough to be main roster, then she'll do. But it's also not like good enough because NXT is so good. We can't think that way anymore. I think.
Well, the women's division's actually very. I don't want to say shallow right now, but there's so many.
What, NXT?
Yeah, I don't want to say shallow, but I feel like there's not much room for more women in the NXT.
Well, I wouldn't
roster.
call it shallow. I'd call it
that's why I'm
deep.
not saying that.
Because
I'd say
NXT probably has the best women's division in the world right now.
So star heavy.
Right. There's not a lot of room.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of room. Right, I see. Oh, like shallow, like there's not a lot of room. Okay, no,
that's what I mean.
I see what you're saying.
It's like I'm liking this period of NXT's women's roster to back to the Four Horsewomen.
Well, because there's people like Candice LeRae, who's like
Tegan Knox,
if
Dakota
you take
Kai,
Candice
LeRae,
if you take Candice LeRae out of NXT, she's a champion anywhere else. Like,
yes.
she is amazing. Remember that match against Io Shirai at that TakeOver?
Where the fuck is Io Shirai?
She's having contract disputes and issues.
Io Shirai to AEW.
And she's also are you done? She's also
Shirai to AEW.
She's also fighting injury, so she's got a few things. Injury is keeping her out of action right now, but she is also in a little bit of dispute because she doesn't. This is rumor. She doesn't love her place at NXT right now.
Yeah,
but who knows? I mean, that could be pure rumor, but she's most likely out due to injury.
And Kairi Sane looks like she's on her way out as well.
Really?
That's what I heard. I heard Kairi Sane doesn't want to resign.
We'll have to see. I know Rusev's in contractual dispute,
yeah.
but supposedly that contract has a ton of time left, so they're just kind of working it out. I don't expect him to leave WWE. Supposedly he'll be at Saudi because you got to have that Saudi paycheck.
Yeah.
Where The Fiend and Goldberg are gonna face off.
No, wait. Before that,
shouldn't we end with it? Before we go into predictions, shouldn't we?
Fine, we'll end with it. I really want to talk about it.
We will talk about it. Jimmy's just looking like, what?
I'm so curious
right now.
Is like, what is going on?
We will get to it.
All right.
So Fiend Goldberg.
Actually, before I forget, did anyone see the posts about how Brock Lesnar fears Kairi Sane?
No.
There's like a promo package going around where it's like Brock Lesnar fears Kairi Sane, and then they just posted some pictures, and it's just Kairi Sane screaming at Brock Lesnar, and then spearing Brock Lesnar in the cage in Saudi.
Like actually happening, or like
it's
like video
Photoshop?
dubbed? Yeah.
But I'm like, I'd love to see Kairi Sane demolish Brock Lesnar.
I'm not even humoring this. Like, what are you even talking about right now?
Fine, we'll talk about Saudi.
Yeah.
The Fiend, Goldberg, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. All right.
Wait, at Saudi Arabia? I thought that was supposed to be...
No. Hulk Hogan happened last night.
Yes.
Hulk Hogan was via satellite, and Hogan's like, brother, watch out for Goldberg, brother.
Tampa.
Yeah, Tampa, brother. I love Tampa and brothers and pythons and brothers. I have many brothers and pythons and my brothers. I have pythons that are brothers to my brothers. Anyways.
And my pythons love the vitamins and the milk.
Yeah, vitamins and milk, brother. All right, anyways.
And my brothers are
all right.
the prayer group, brothers.
We got it.
Oh, my God. That's fucking great.
So when, they interrupted, and it was The Fiend, and The Fiend was with Huskus.
But The Fiend is also doing the NWO Hulk Hogan,
guitar
thing with the championship.
Yeah, what O'Reilly also does for UE.
Who does it better, The Fiend, Hulk Hogan, or...
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly
does it really good.
I know, but The Fiend is just funny about
Well, yeah, he's just So he shows up, he interrupts, he's with Huskus, and he basically said to Huskus eat this chocolate, you fatty, and he ate it. Happy Valentine's Day, and it's what happened. I'm serious. And then the Fiend was like, Hulk, you're a shit, and I got the Fiend, bitch, and Hogan's like, well, brother, watch out for Goldberg. And
he beat me my prime, brother.
Yeah, right, prime and brothers. And then the Fiend is like, be careful, or else you'll be next. And he showed a picture of him with the 2 axes through his eyes. And Hogan's like, I'm had enough of this, brother. See you, Tampa, brother. And that was pretty much it.
So does that mean the Fiend they're gonna continue attacks at the Hall of Fame celebration by having the Fiend target Hulk Hogan?
That would be amazing. If at the Hall of Fame the lights go out and,
go,
mandible claw to Hogan.
They're trying to do the same thing that happened with Bret Hart, but it's actually the Fiend, and it's actually supposed to happen instead of just some random ass fan attacking someone.
Oh my God,
that would be great. I would love that.
That would be filthy good.
And they would actually keep it within the story for every Hall of Fame going forward.
At WrestleMania, when they're doing all the Hall of Fame line and stuff, the Fiend just like comes out and just starts choking him.
Oh my God. All right, so we're looking at
Kevin Nash just wobbles away. I'm not dealing with this.
my knees. My knees.
Batista's just pointing and laughing like.
All right.
Wait, who inducts? Oh no, Batista's not getting it. He's getting inducted by I believe Fit Finley,
which is cool. Which is actually pretty
Oh,
cool.
But,
wow, that's interesting.
I believe it's Fit. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. But I think it's Fit. And Batista, I want him to walk down with Dana Brooke. I want Dana Brooke to like escort him out. Come on.
Could it be like an official like would that be like the confirmation that like they're definitely dating at that point?
I think it would just be for the memes. I could also see Batista doing that just for shits.
Yeah, he would do that just for such. But
Did you hear about the other Hall of Fame inductions?
The Bella Twins.
Actually, no. Well, I did hear that rumor.
The Bella Twins and someone else.
Thunder Liger.
Yeah, Jushin Thunder
Okay,
Liger.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
that was the other
Yeah.
one.
That's kind of a cool one.
I'm excited for all the inductions so far. I think they're very good.
Yeah, I feel like the Bella Twins kind of deserve.
Well, it's
like
cool
they
that
took.
Jushin Thunder Liger because it shows that they're like respecting outside of WWE, like what. This
Well,
guy-
he was
I
also
know
a
he was part of
WC
NXT, but
Well, he was also a WCW.
yeah,
wrestler,
but
too.
it's also how big he also was outside of WWE. Like it's just cool that they're
it's like an
you know,
Antonio Inoki kind of
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
So
something
that's
like
pretty
that.
good.
So that's-
like you
that's
kind of
pretty cool.
you do need to respect.
I really
Jushin.
wish Jushin Thunder Liger spent more time in the WWE. The matches between him and Rey Mysterio in the WWE ring would have been.
He was with Tyler Breeze in NXT or fought Tyler Breeze.
Yeah, I
that
was there
his
live
only match
watching
in
that.
WWE.
That was his only match.
Only match, but yeah, he watched.
I watched that live. It was
yeah.
great.
That
I
was
love
He
it.
was
awesome.
there.
I was
yeah,
like,
that's
legit.
awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so Fiend Goldberg.
All right.
This is interesting.
I think the Fiend should demolish Goldberg in 10 minutes.
Okay, here's the thing.
It's gonna last 10 minutes.
Here's the thing. I think we all agree of what should happen. The Fiend should go over. But there's a lot of rumblings now that some people believe that Roman Goldberg has a little more power at WrestleMania.
I think it has more. Look, all right. So this is my take on it.
I'm already cringing.
There's
But here's
two
the thing.
scenarios.
I'm
There's two
already
scenarios.
cringing.
Well, I just want to say, if you took, because the Fiend and Roman are kind of like
Together forever.
well, yes, but it's true. And if you take one of them away and you pair Goldberg with either one of them at WrestleMania, let's just say there was no Fiend never existed, and I told you that Roman and Goldberg are facing off at Mania, what are you gonna say? Oh, really? I feel like that would be a really good
Not
match.
really. I mean, the
is-
reason why I would be is like the whole like Goldberg and Brock Lesnar kind of situation. I understand the differences. I just want to continue on with.
I have two things that. There
But then
are
if
two
you
scenarios.
take Roman away and you have Fiend Goldberg at Mania,
I want.
I think that's also really good.
I mean, I don't.
I do. I think
this
any
is the-
combination
this is-
of those three would be good.
You're
but
forgetting
because
a
of
fourth party, and I'm gonna say it right now because none of y'all are mentioning it. So we have Goldberg, we have Roman Reigns, we
Yeah.
have Bray Wyatt,
where are you going with this? Keith Lee.
John Cena.
I would. Okay,
John,
so no.
all right, so
okay,
here we go.
so
Roman Reigns, Goldberg, torch passing.
He got rumored. Cena's rumored to do something at Mania. I
He
forgot
gets
what it
to
was.
choose his match at Mania. He comes out after Super Showdown. He comes out that Friday after. Imagine him being like, Fiend, I've beaten you once. I want to beat you again. And then the
I feel
Fiend
like-
gets his retribution.
Yeah,
I would actually.
Let's be real here. Who was the real downfall of the Fiend? Who was the very first person that screwed Bray Wyatt?
Who's the very first? Oh man. Ugh.
John Cena, WrestleMania 30.
Yeah, I mean,
And like, imagine this.
no, you're right. I yeah.
Imagine Survivor Series main
interesting.
event: Roman Reigns, The Fiend. I guess a couple or Hell in a Cell. A couple years to the date, or 2 years to the date that Roman Reigns was forced to relinquish his Universal Championship. Like, imagine him winning the Money in the Bank. Be like, I want to cash in on this date. This is 2 years to the day that I had to relinquish my title. Imagine the money in that.
Yeah, it's really not that bad. I was hoping we could see Cena put over an NXT guy, like a Keith
That
Lee
would
or
be
something.
nice.
I feel like that
John
would be
Cena
really,
versus
I feel like that
Adam
would be
Cole,
really cool.
baby.
Well, no, I was
Keith
thinking
Lee.
more someone that right. I was hoping for like a Cena Keith Lee. I think that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. I personally, out of like the four between the Fiend versus any of those other three, I actually would prefer John Cena.
The Fiend Johnson.
That's
yeah.
me personally.
Yeah,
Not that I don't mind Goldberg, but like Goldberg to me,
No, CJ made a lot of good points. I mean, that would be really cool.
I feel
I
like
have a lot of good points. You know,
All
Noah,
right.
just listen.
Yeah, how'd Ricochet go at the Rumble?
He's going to Super Showdown, so fuck all
Yeah,
y'all.
and that's gonna go over great.
Y'all
like,
bitches.
Unfortunately, like, we're stuck in this world where, like, Saudi Arabia has to be a thing. And,
yeah, right.
like, to me, personally, I feel like
I think
Goldberg is the lowest on the totem pole, so I'd rather give Saudi Arabia
I
that.
agree with
and
that.
That means we can get John Cena versus The Fiend. And, like, hold off The Fiend and Roman Reigns for, like, either another year or until SummerSlam or Survivor Series.
I
or
would be
whatever.
fine if, let's just say, in the vacuum we're in, that The Fiend beats Goldberg, Roman faces The Fiend at Mania, and that's where Roman goes over.
I'm fine with that.
I would
Yeah,
be
I'm
fine with
that.
it.
I'm fine with that, too.
I'm worried if, let's just say, it does happen like that. I'm worried what happens to The Fiend afterwards. I'm curious of what they'd have to do because
I would like
that's
to
his
continue
loss.
it a little bit more and have more Bray Wyatt be, if it's going to be like on the big pay-per-views, let's say, let him be just a legend killer just for a little bit longer because I
Right.
do enjoy that.
I'm loving the legend killer gimmick. Like, I want him to attack Hulk Hogan. I want him to attack Goldberg, John Cena.
Yeah.
Hell, have him attack The Rock. I just would
See,
love
like,
to.
if The Fiend loses at me, if they do it right, and I've said this before, if you get Roman's, and we're assuming Fiend beats Goldberg, so let's say that happens. You
it's
know,
going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
I
Let's
hope it does.
Imagine that it does.
It's
Okay.
going to happen.
I really hope so. I have seen worse. Shane McMahon beat Roman last year, so I'm waiting. I'm ready for anything.
Imagine the power of Saudi Arabia be like, no, we want Goldberg to beat
Right.
the demon. Like
To
that
be
could.
fair-
I don't know.
That could be a realistic.
I'm
fair,
preparing for
what
anything.
if Roman Reigns loses to The Fiend? Why are we not talking about that?
Because I just don't think it'll happen.
I
It-
feel like it's not. I feel like the
All right,
retribution story of like Roman going full circle, kind of
Yeah,
getting the
it's
title,
the
is gonna
right thing.
end
But
with
you,
him
but you
getting
gotta
the title
like
from the Fiend.
you need to make the Fiend evil. Like I'm talking, but like
The
if
Fiend
you-
needs to target Roman's daughter.
Or if you can get, I don't
Well,
want to.
okay.
Well, I don't know about that. I was saying like if you get maybe something with the leukemia diagnosis in there.
Nah.
Well, I'm saying you get Roman's permission and you use that. Like you got to make him really really bad because obviously there are still people that don't love Roman. Being on top of the world.
What if we get like him actually facing like the manic Bray Wyatt
Oh, just
Mr.
Bray?
Rogers? Yeah, for maybe like a month or two before like the Fiend.
Oh, at Mania, you're talking. Oh, like just to start, you'd
Yeah,
have
to like get that kind of going, but then
what,
like
like
you
a match? You mean like an actual match?
Yeah,
I guess
get
I
them to
don't-
have like a match, but like have them be a story before like the Fiend
But
comes
like
up
when? Because Roman's gonna win. You'd say Roman's gonna get a shot at the Chamber in March. So you're already. I mean,
yeah,
there's
it is
really
kind
not
of like
enough
already
time.
going.
So I feel
I
like you have a
honestly-
good month to just go full bore of just good versus evil. And if you really were, because again, everyone loves the Fiend, obviously, and people are going to be against the Fiend losing the title to Roman. And I get that because they're, Roman's so polarizing. Obviously, he's a lot more over now, of course. But there are still people that boo him here and there. So if you need to get him over, you need to make it just so good versus evil. You need to have the Fiend go as evil as humanly possible.
But what if the Fiend beats Roman and this leads to Roman's heel turn? Because
I
the
don't want that.
The
I don't want
Fiend
that
has
at all.
changed everyone he has faced so far. Look at Seth. Look at Daniel Bryan. Imagine him changing Goldberg.
But
Goldberg
if Roman-
starts targeting faces.
But if Roman vanquishes him for the better, then that will change Roman, and that would be a fine arc. I don't need Roman turning heel. I don't think it works.
I think the
I don't
is-
think Roman's like Cena, where Cena was charismatic enough where it's like, yeah, he could be a heel. He could totally pull that off. Where Roman, I don't see it. I think Roman has his wheelhouse, and he's in it now.
Well,
and
I
think
mean,
that's
I don't
pretty much-
know. Have you seen his like really old like NXT
Well, yeah,
stuff?
he was the enforcer. He was the muscle.
No,
and-
no,
like-
no,
in NXT,
not
he
the-
was an entitled prick.
He was an entitled
Was he?
prick. Yeah, you
was
need
great.
to watch like his old NXT stuff.
I guess I've never seen that.
Just look up My Time Roman Reigns,
Mhm.
and like it's just him in a suit with like a gold Rolex, and he's like, "You think you're allowed to interview me? This is my time. We don't go on your time. Your time sucks." We
Was
go
it,
on-
and it was good?
It was
Yeah,
great.
it's really good.
All right, so maybe
I feel like if there's a possibility, I feel like if they can do that, let him get and then like rehabilitate him back to like where Roman's a good person, and then beat the Fiend. There's something there.
yeah,
But like this is super
right. We're
long
really
booking.
like, yeah. I really feel like it's kind of in front of you.
yeah, like if we're gonna do it, we gotta like pick
just
choose
do
something
it
now
and do it right. Just do
Exactly.
it and do it right because don't blow it like you did with Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda last year. If you're gonna do it, just do it right. It's in front of you. It's pretty much a slam dunk. You just got to do it right. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully,
Yeah, I think
hopefully Goldberg just doesn't
the
win.
Universal Championship picture. I think has a lot more intrigue because it can go in like 3 separate directions.
Yeah, and I think this really reminds me of what happened with Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda, where like they had so many different directions of how to get to the destination, but they wound up just taking the wrong one.
Yeah.
So like here we are again. There's a lot of different directions you could take here,
But I don't think there's a bad one.
well, they found it last year, so they might find it
The only
again.
bad one I could think of is Fatal 4-Way.
Of
those 4 people,
or something I just thought of here. Do you throw Daniel Bryan in the mix at all?
No,
you just leave
Leave
that
him off
alone.
the
It's
card.
done. Well, don't leave him off the card.
Well, don't leave him off the card, but like he had his time.
He had his time,
he's now
and
doing
now it's
a
time
new
to
thing,
move on.
which is very good.
Yep.
Like I would say that this might be one of the best.
I want
incarnations
Daniel
of
Bryan and Heath Slater challenging The Miz and Morrison for the SmackDown Tag Team titles.
Well, they got to get the SmackDown titles first. Morrison
They're
and
gonna.
Miz. Yeah, probably. But shh.
All right. So
Feed Heath Slater into the Fiend, turn him back into the one-man rock band like he was before.
Oh,
And
my
then yeah, that's
God.
what they need to do. To be like, man, Bray can really like change people back in time.
Yeah.
I wonder. And
no,
then
no,
stay
no.
off
He
the
go-
different
no, he
people.
goes after Kofi Kingston. Kofi's like
He's
Jamaican,
Jamaican again?
for like a month, 2 months.
Oh yeah, I would so dig that.
Oh my God.
Feed Big E,
Hey, yo, man, how's
Big
it
E to
going?
him, and he's that enforcer that like struck
Biggie
AJ
Langston?
Lee in that chest.
Xavier Woods goes to dancing. Like they're just like, what the fuck?
He's wearing glasses again.
All right. Before we get into the last thing, I do want to mention what is everyone's thoughts
Oh boy.
on the Shayna Baszler attack on Becky Lynch this past week.
Okay, so I kind of heard some things about it. Did she bite her?
Yes.
Okay, you need to explain how this kind of unfolded.
Okay.
That's
so
a great question, Jimmy. Jared.
all right. So Becky fought Asuka on Raw in a good match. It was a really good match. They're always good together, and Becky retained.
Yes.
Okay.
So Baszler shows up
Okay.
and just dives at her and just obviously
Well,
didn't.
beats the fuck out of her.
Well, right, jumps on her, whatever, gets the upper hand, and just dives at her, the back of her neck, and you just see, whatever you want to call it, pink color, spew out. It's all over Baszler's mouth. Becky's like, that bitch just bite me. Jesus Christ, this bitch just bit me. And I liked it. The things I didn't like was I thought it was just
cartoony.
It was just so fake. Like it was just a little too.
Was it like when Roman got that bloody nose that one time, and then that footage showed out that Byron Saxton passed him the blood packet? Was it like that kind of shit?
No, because that's just botched. Like that was just like messed up. This was planned. This is how it was supposed to go. It was for what they were trying to get. It's exactly what they were trying to do.
An impact, a shock value.
Yeah, Baszler was covered in blood. Becky was freaking out, and Becky was doing really well. Like, oh my God!
I think
they were trying to rush her. They rushed her to the ambulance, and she drove the ambulance, and then she came back and was like, fight me, bitch.
There's 2 things that I see with this segment. One, I think is a reactionary segment to when I'm not sure if you guys watch it, Britt Baker versus Yuka Sakazaki.
Gesundheit?
Yes. On AEW, and actually Britt Baker knocked out one of her teeth.
Yes, right.
Which was,
I thought
that was great.
And then her promo was like, I did her a favor.
It was decaying.
She said all these things that I didn't understand, which we all know. She was like, this bicuspid of them. I'm like, you are the worst, but the best.
Yes. But like,
Put the title on her, but I digress.
I agree. I think that, one, it was a little reactionary.
Yeah.
2, I think it was they were trying to recreate a similar star-making moment that happened about 2 years ago when Becky Lynch was busted open when she attacked Raw.
Oh yeah, that's right. And
I don't
that
know
was, what,
about
Nia Jax
that.
punched
I
her in
don't
the
know
face
if
or
that's
something?
what they were trying to do.
I think they tried to make an impact, and they know
tried
blood
to make
does it.
Right. They tried to, because Becky has been on the top of the mountain and she's fought off everybody. So now you're saying to yourself, if we're going to build Baszler up, we got to make her huge. So they're saying, let's have her just be a complete on a psychopath. And I don't mind that idea. It could have been maybe a drawback to, what was it, Survivor Series build where that happened. I don't know if that's necessarily true. They were trying to really get her to be this dangerous. But to me, like you said, I think it was just a little overboard. We know she didn't bite her.
It should have been
like, it was just so. It was a little too much.
They should have just had her bust her open.
It was if you could pull it. It was to the point where it was like, we know it's scripted, but we don't want it to be thrown in our
Literally,
face.
you just need Shayna to punch her square in the nose like Nia Jax, and you're fine.
Right. If let's just say she bled the hard way, I'd be like,
I think that would have been better.
Shit. It was so. It felt fake. Like it's one of those things.
Was it believable that she would actually do that? Though?
No. Why would Shayna bite her? She could break her arm.
So would it have been better if she not legit break her arm, but tried to do that and then made an example out of it.
But then you see she wouldn't have come off as they wanted her to come off. They wanted her to come off different. She's gone over and put someone in an arm, and tried to break her arm or put her in the,
But you want someone who's crazy though. That's what they were trying to do.
They were trying to look for someone just out of her freaking head. And I get that.
An earlier incarnation of Nikki Cross essentially.
Oh, yeah, but more dangerous. More dangerous.
Okay.
But that's
I didn't mind the plan and I didn't hate the execution. I didn't say because I don't want to say that this was a complete train wreck because it wasn't. It wasn't that bad, but
it felt cartoonish.
It was a little missed. It was a little cartoonish, And she's got the bandage on her neck, and now it's starting to get it. It was just a little bit what? It was a little too much. All right, we don't need the ketchup all over her face. It was just so come on.
They tried to Mike Tyson this situation.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little too much.
It was a little too much.
I think they could have done it in a different vein, have her power bomber off the stage.
You could have done.
There's
done
so
other
many
things.
ways you could have done it.
It was a little too much, and it was just. It didn't. I didn't mind it being too much if you could pull it off, but it's just
they didn't.
When you get the blood into the mix and you just see Shayna's face is covered in her hair and you have no idea what's going on. You're in this little vacuum, and then all of a sudden you see the blood pop out. It's it's a little we know she probably had a pack of something in her mouth. All right, it was just a little too fake for me.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably the best way for me to describe it.
Yeah. Because from the way, and I don't think it would be a bad segment that I would have watched, but from your description, it just sounds like it's out of character, so it didn't make sense for her to do it.
That's the thing. It was out of character.
Again, I don't want to tell you it was bad. If you watch it, you would be whoa. That, my first reaction was what? that was my reaction. What the hell just happened?
All right.
So wait, we have one last thing to talk about.
Then we could go on break and do TakeOver.
The reported match for The Undertaker.
Well, to initially say, there is a report now The Undertaker will have a match.
On WrestleMania 36.
He's going to have a match.
So he had no match last year, so now he has a match.
He's going to have a match at WrestleMania 36.
Let's give him...
And there is a rumor, heavily rumored, who this person is going to be.
Do we give him a guess? How many guesses do we give him?
All right, so it's a Raw star.
And that's all we're giving you.
And that's all we're giving you.
It's a Raw. Okay, that's my only hint. It's a Raw.
A couple guesses.
You get 2 guesses.
It's a Raw star.
It's a Raw star.
Raw star. 2 guesses.
And it's good. And it's really good. So this is something good. It's not something bad.
Let's see how this goes.
Can't be Edge. That's just
Nope. That's one guess.
It's not Edge.
What? Okay.
Hey, listen.
All right. I'll play by the rules.
It is not someone that has been that. This is new.
This is very
new. Brand new. This has never happened before.
Actually,
this is my problem. I haven't watched Raw in so long.
Let me tell you, this was a reported match.
Yes,
this was reported years ago at another pay-per-view.
I think for Survivor Series is when they were looking.
It was post-Survivor Series to the Rumble.
Yeah, for the Rumble. Right.
This was a reported match.
This has been rumored before.
And it didn't come to fruition.
It didn't happen, and now it is again rumored, but heavily. This seems like it may actually happen. I'll give you one guess at it. One more shot.
One guess, because we gave you a lot of hints.
It's a
current Raw star.
Current Raw star.
It was rumored before.
A couple years ago.
Rumored before, didn't pan out, and it's heavily rumored again.
Fuck, man. This is the problem. I haven't watched Raw in so long. I forgot who the fuck is in it. Oh my god. Fuck. I can't.
You give up?
Yeah, I'm gonna give up because
he may or may not be phenomenal.
AJ fucking Styles.
AJ Styles.
That actually would be pretty fun.
We know.
The Phenom versus the Phenomenal one.
Come on.
That's incredible.
If the Undertaker, because here's the thing.
And
obviously you had the
AJ could carry a match like that.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously you had the Goldberg mess with Undertaker, and then Undertaker wanted to prove himself in Extreme Rules, and he did well. He's he proved that he could still
do it. He could go with younger stars.
He could go with younger stars, and he can go with good stars. So now you have a guy that could literally have a 5-star match with a mop. and he's older, Styles, but he's still really, really good, and he knows how to do it, and he knows
how
the
would
score.
that even work story-wise? Like, that's the more curious thing.
AJ Styles comes back and goes,
yeah,
fuck
right.
you, Taker.
You could do this in any way. Taker shows up and Styles comes out, or Styles comes back from injury and then Taker comes out. You can do this very easily. You're the phenomenal one. I'm the Phenom. This is very simple.
It builds itself.
It really does build itself. There's not much way to go.
It's not so much how it gets built, because I can see it how it gets built. It's more of like, where does it start? That's where I want to.
But I just either or. Like, pick your. Who cares?
It's literally AJ Styles. Imagine he wins the two-way trophy or whatever the fuck. If it's like, I don't want this fucking trophy. I want The Undertaker. I am the greatest star to have never been signed to WWE until recently.
Right, you could do this
Taker's
in any way.
the greatest superstar ever to come out of WWE. It is a match that makes it.
You could do this in any way. Styles just comes out and is like, I built this. This is the house that AJ Styles built. Gong. Like, it's so simple. It's so simple.
It sounds incredible.
Undertaker does his digging holes and taking souls promo, and Styles comes out. And
he actually does it, and then possibly it being actually good. So yeah.
Right, but I'm saying, like, he, like, say he comes out and he's doing doing his normal like Undertaker appearance, and then Styles comes out and has something to say.
Right.
Like, this writes itself.
You know what the best part is? We could possibly get AJ Styles fucking with the crowd by coming out as the Undertaker. And it works.
Oh, man.
Because of the beard, the long
yeah.
hair. He could possibly do it.
No,
yeah, but he's short. But he's shorter though.
Doesn't matter.
This really writes itself, and it will be so
phenomenal.
good. It will be phenomenal.
Do you think this is how Undertaker could get a 5-star match?
This won't go 5 stars.
It depends.
This won't go 5 stars. I don't think he has enough in him.
Listen, I don't think we should talk about 5-star matches, because I don't want to rehash your last week's discussion about fucking Dave Meltzer and fucking Jim Cornette.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
I don't even want to know what discussion this was, but
this is between me and Joe.
Yeah, it's between him and Joe about the fucking.
Oh yes, well.
I don't want to dive into it, because we already went through it.
Joe,
and I don't
really likes Jim Cornette.
I'm not gonna go.
No, as
far as Dave Meltzer is concerned, his 5-star matches are skewed. His rating system is not the end all be all.
I don't know.
But
I feel like
what we consider to be a 5-star match is almost perfection. So, I mean, we're talking about Michaels Taker at 24-25, whatever. 25-26.
Yeah, it has the potential to be that and actually be really good. I agree with you on that.
I would say if you have something between Undertaker and AJ Styles, the greatness that is AJ Styles, I think surpasses Shawn Michaels in terms of technical wrestling ability.
Similar. I think it's comparable.
I
it's
think,
arguable.
I think
it's
no one's called Shawn. They would always call Shawn Michaels the favorite or the greatest. You have people like Kurt Angle and Sting being like, this is the greatest star.
Yeah, it's interesting because I also think we're getting. I feel like when Michaels and Taker went at it, Michaels was almost done, and I think Styles is kind of almost done. But I think Styles has more in the tank now than what Michaels had more in the tank at the end. I feel like, if that makes any sense.
No, I hear you.
He could definitely carry the match. At the very least, I could see it going to the vein of Undertaker CM Punk.
Yeah, it could.
Yeah, okay. I'll
Maybe
give you that
better.
one.
I think the thing that makes it so good is just the way Styles can sell.
Yes.
He's so phenomenal. He's so
And he doesn't
good at
do
selling.
it dramatically. He makes it realistic.
He injured himself for Edge, like trying to spin out and landing on his shoulder. And if you saw the spear, it was filthy. I mean, it looked like Edge destroyed a guy. So, I mean, he could make something like an old school or a choke slam look like crazy.
He could play all the hits.
Crazy.
All without injuring Taker.
I mean, and I mean, the thing that's curious is, and I feel like he could do it, could we see Styles get him up for a clash for the Styles Clash? Do you think he could pull it off?
I believe
I feel like
I
we
think
could,
he might
but
be able to.
My fear with that is, can Taker remember to make sure he leans his head back?
Undertaker's a professional.
If you're right.
No, I know that, but like.
But I'm saying if you get it
there's
right.
also been professional people who forget to do the same thing.
This is the Undertaker. I don't think he's going to forget something. The only thing that stops the Undertaker is old age and injuries. But well, that's old age and injuries. So if we're looking at the intellect of the Undertaker, I don't think that has gone away at all. I think.
Well, I mean, if you go at it enough, and then you like, it's like almost the end of the match, and then.
But just think about it. Think about the Styles.
Like it's happened to wrestlers at that.
I know, but come on. Think about Styles hitting the Clash on Taker.
It would be.
I mean, think
again,
about how Styles.
think
about how
phenomenal.
Styles takes the tombstone and kicks out. I mean, like, there's so much There's so much, and it could be so good. And I hope it happens because, oh boy, we don't have to call it a retirement match. We don't have to call it anything more than it is, but just a great wrestling match at Mania that Taker has not had in a while.
I'm hype.
Maybe since
I'd say
Bray at 31. I mean, they had the Hell in a Cell at 32, which was interesting with a great spot. 33 with Roman was extremely polarizing. 34 wasn't even a match. So, I mean, you might have to go back to 31 with Wyatt.
31 with Wyatt, I'd say was a good match, not a great match.
The last great match, then, I guess, would be Punk at 29.
Yeah.
Because, obviously, the streak. So, you're going back to 29, and then you had your end of the era and Michaels, and those are all amazing.
Yeah,
so
like he had a great string of matches from about 23 to 29.
The last great, if we're going great, the last great WrestleMania match was Punk in 29. 30 was what it was, polar, whatever you want to call it.
Speaking of Punk, did you hear, like, when Renee was announcing on Backstage about CM Punk's like, the landscape's about to change. John Cena returns on SmackDown. It's like, Punk goes, is it? Is it, though?
That's great.
Like, you hear it subtly, and he's just like, is it?
All right, you want to take a break? We'll have back in predictions.
Yes,
right.
Saudi.
No, that's Saudi.
Hello, Audio Marks. I am one of your Marks for Life podcast, so CJ, coming to talk to you about Patreon. Patreon is a place where you guys can go online and pledge your support to your favorite music artists, to your favorite artists, and even your favorite podcasts, like us. We at Marks for Life podcast have our own Patreon page, and we are always appreciative of our Marks for Life podcast pledges. So for only $1 a month, you too can also pledge your support to us. But that's not all. With $2 a month, you can get all of our podcast episodes, as well as a special shout out from the Shield of Wrestling podcast, Jimmy, CJ, and Joe. And even further, you can get all of that with $3 a month, plus a follow back on Twitter and Instagram. So, what are you guys waiting for? Head on over to Patreon at patreon.com. Search for us at Marks for Life Podcast. And we'll see you then, Audio Marks. Thank you very much. Back to the show.
Hello, welcome back to this week's edition of Marks for Life Podcast.
Great. Yeah, great.
Welcome back from commercial break. All right, so we're going to be going into the 6 matches for this Sunday's NXT TakeOver Portland card.
Oh, baby.
Woo! All right, so first up, we have Johnny Gargano taking on Finn Balor. Singles match, we have a street fight between Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. We have, for the NXT Tag Team Championships, we have Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, the Broserweights, taking on Undisputed Era's Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
Yui.
NXT North American Championship match, we have Keith Lee defending against Dominik Dijakovic. I said that right?
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, good. I wasn't sure Dijakovic or Dijakovic.
It's Ick.
Okay, it is Ick. All right. NXT Women's Championship match, Rhea Ripley defends against Bianca Belair. And finally, NXT Championship match, we have Adam Cole.
Baby.
There we go. Defending against Tommaso Ciampa.
Daddy?
Daddy? All right, let's go from the bottom up. We got Finn Balor
That's
taking
what
on...
she said.
There we go. Finn Balor taking on Johnny Gargano.
Oh, my God. This is going to be... I don't even have words for what this is going to be.
Do you have sounds?
I mean, the build has been just unbelievable with Balor coming back and hitting Gargano with the Pele kick, 1916 on the medal. Gargano goes out with injury. Then so that obviously, kind of put a damper, not a damper, but, made it be a little longer.
Yes.
And then you had to have, what was it, Riddle? I think it was Riddle and Balor facing off initially.
Yes.
And that was a good match. And you have just this buildup of Balor. Gargano now comes back.
Gargano laid it on thick. He was like, I don't want the Finn Balor.
Yeah.
I
don't want the Raw SmackDown Finn Balor.
Like
I need
that
NXT.
lost to Bobby Lashley 78 times because I will eat him alive.
Yeah, and Finn Balor's like, that guy's long gone. And Gargano's saying, I'm going to take the NXT flag that you had and stab it in your heart. Balor just looks at him and he's like, I don't have a heart.
Is that tonight? It's being Saturday when this goes
No,
out?
no, it's Sunday. Sunday pay-per-view.
Yeah, because that's what I was about to say.
Sunday
I did
pay-per-view.
hear that they...
Which is awesome because I'm off Monday. It's just so good.
He doesn't want to compete with AEW.
Yeah.
Hey!
No, it's just, this is going to be
I also,
awesome.
actually canceled my payments for it, but it ends the 26th, so I'm pretty excited that I actually get to watch NXT Takeover.
This Takeover is going to be it's going to be disgustingly good, and this match, the feud, the match, the two of them are just going to completely burn it down, and no pun intended. Now, as far as the prediction goes,
all right, let's go with Joe. Joe has picked Johnny Gargano to win.
Okay, interesting.
I disagree.
As do I.
That's a hat trick. I think it's Finn Balor who's gonna win.
I think here's the thing: Gargano is invincible. No loss ever kills him. Hence why he's called Johnny Takeover, but has never won a takeover.
Finn Balor has only lost one takeover in his entire career.
Well, it's not even this is brand.
I think they got to build
Samoa Joe. I think
it was Samoa Joe was the only time he's ever lost a takeover match, and I think Finn Balor needs to continue that.
Well, this is the thing. The reality is, I think the thing that makes this a little trickier to predict than normal is twofold. One, just how good the buildup has been. Because talking about leading the NXT flag, that's Johnny. Johnny is the one that leads the NXT flag. So part of you wants to say to himself, is this Balor giving back to Gargano a little bit? Which could make some sense. But then the other side is, we have to remember how this started. This started with Balor turning heel on Johnny. And for that Riddle match was never supposed to happen. The first takeover match that Balor was supposed to have was against Johnny Gargano.
Yes.
And obviously you were not going to have him lose his first takeover match back in NXT. So I think we're pretty much just continuing from that point. I don't think you could have Balor lose this early. And if Balor was to lose, it would clearly hurt him a lot more.
Yes.
Now, I don't think if Johnny won, it would hurt him that much because it's going to be a classic. Crazy things are going to happen. So that if Balor lost, the match would end and you'd be like, well, I'd lose. If I took all that, you know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be one of those matches. So taking Johnny is not that bad because, again, it's the feud, the way the buildup is, it's talking about the flag bearer of the show. We know that's Johnny. But at the end of the day, I think you guys think, it's just too early for Balor to lose this.
I think with my predictions, the way this is going to go, I believe it's going to end, personally, a fatal four-way elimination match at NXT TakeOver WrestleMania.
Tampa, whatever you want to call
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. I
don't give a fuck.
I think this is going to end in a fatal four-way.
Interesting. We'll get
to it at the very end. I think that in order for this to happen, I need Finn Balor to win.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think Finn Balor should win. I think that Johnny doesn't need this right now.
Yeah.
I think it needs to continue on till. I think this needs to continue to WrestleMania.
Right. So, if Finn wins tonight or Sunday, is this you gonna go on?
I think it's going to end at WrestleMania in the title picture.
Some capacity with the four of them, and I think I know what four you're referring to.
Yeah, I think it needs to end in that kind of blow-off because...
Could be.
Because, these are all men that defined a generation in NXT. Realistically, you can have Finn Balor... the only way they could make this better is that if you put in Neville, who also defined it at one point.
Right.
But you have Finn Balor, who defined... probably the best era of NXT.
Or the era that made it become this era.
Exactly. You had Johnny and Ciampa, who carried that brand when nothing else was watchable.
Right.
They were one of the greatest feuds of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have
Cole, who's the new era of NXT.
Who's
the
leading
new era,
the USA era, the network era,
right?
The television,
and it's
era.
all been great. Yeah, no,
the TV.
Yeah, could be, but all right. So I'm gonna take Balor.
I'm gonna take Balor as well.
Jimmy also Balor.
Any further comments, Jim?
No. I'm actually really glad because now I just realized I'm gonna be able to watch this on Sunday because I actually followed your advice. I ordered it for what was it, Royal Rumble, and I get to end it at the 26th. So
there you go. If you can extend it one day, you can watch Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
No.
Don't do that.
Next up, we got Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai in a street fight. Joe has picked Dakota Kai. I agree with this one. I think Dakota Kai is probably like the next biggest heel they have once Shayna Baszler leaves. And I think her being the next challenger for Rhea Ripley post-WrestleMania is the smart pick. And then, like, you can even have Tegan Nox do... you can have a Tegan Nox Dakota Kai thing similar to the vein of Johnny Gargano and Ciampa for the women's title picture. And I think that would be very cool to see.
Yeah. Jimmy?
I have Tegan.
You have Tegan Nox?
Really? What's the reason?
I don't know any of these two, so...
Nice!
Like, this is the problem. Like, I just...
Tegan's the face.
No. I understand that dynamic. It's just I don't know them, like, enough to, like, give a full prediction. And I'm going to be honest. I have yet to watch any NXT
What are
on
you
USA.
doing with your life?
Watching AEW?
You could do both. I do both. It's very simple.
No, actually, it's actually very hard.
You record one and watch the other, and then you watch the other the next night.
But
Wednesday and Thursday. That's it.
Yeah, but Thursday I work all day, and then I do something else at night. So, like, what am I supposed to...
Listen, man, you gotta make the sacrifice here. I watch them both. They're both great, and I'm just enjoying my time.
Fine.
This is what I start doing. I start watching them at work.
Yeah, I know,
just
but...
like your work.
Yeah, but...
No, I work all day. I record AEW and I watch NXT on Wednesdays because I just prefer NXT.
Yeah,
and then on Thursdays at night, because there's no wrestling on Thursdays and football's over, I just watch back AEW, and that's it. Sometimes I may even flash on them on a Wednesday. Like this week, I actually flashed a little bit back and forth, so I didn't really need to watch AEW back because I know what happened.
All right.
So it's worth it. If the main roster has to lose viewership, of WWE.
Well, I also haven't been watching Raw and SmackDown recently.
So you're not watching anything but AEW.
Well, I'm trying.
What are you doing?
I'm watching NWA Power, man. You gotta watch the second company.
Listen, there's just a lot of wrestling, and I haven't
Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together.
I haven't pulled
it's
it together.
TakeOver. It's TakeOver.
If I still have access, I'm pretty sure I still do. I have to double check, but I will absolutely watch TakeOver because it just sounds good. But I'm gonna go with Tegan Nox.
Like I've been watching AEW Dark. I've been watching.
Well, that's a little too far.
No, I like it because they also have like continuation of stories. Like right now we have Jimmy Havoc taking on Luther, and
really.
That actually sounds amazing.
Interesting. Jimmy Havoc gets a 50-year-old Lex Luger.
Yeah, but it sounds like a death match.
That actually sounds amazing. So.
And then I got to see Awesome Kong I got to watch the Nightmare Collective just disintegrate.
Yeah, Awesome Kong's like done. Yeah, like
no, she's going back to Glow.
Oh, she is.
Yeah.
Last season of Glow.
So you got Tegan Nox. Me and Joe got Kai.
All right, I'm going with Dakota Kai. There's a couple reasons. Biggest reason is the only issue with this feud because the whole feud's been really, really good since War Games when it began and Dakota Kai, turned on her. And they kept building up. Then they had a match on NXT. Very odd. It wasn't necessarily bad, but it was very odd. And Tegan Nox won clean with the Chinese Wizard out of nowhere. So it was a little out of place. I don't think, again, it hasn't been bad, but it was certainly out of place. And it makes me think that Dakota has to win this because I think this feud will continue. And I think you could definitely see a title around, surrounded by it, like CJ said. And also the second reason is I just think Dakota has a little more drawing power at this point. I think Tegan is a little bit of just your kind of blanket baby face, and I think Dakota has a lot more charisma. She's very interesting. I really, really enjoy her as a heel. She just uses weapons upon weapons. She always uses things. She used a ring bell this past week. She just always...
My bad. That was my TikTok. Sorry.
Always uses things. So I think Dakota has a little more drawing power. I can't see Tegan winning twice. I just can't see it. So I'm going with
that's
Dakota.
fair because I wouldn't have known that. I'm not gonna change my thing because
that would be
we have to yeah. Mainly because I'm already way behind and it doesn't look like I'm gonna.
We restarted.
We restarted. I retained at the Rumble.
Oh, then okay.
I retained at the Rumble.
I'm gonna still keep Tegan Nox. Like we have to have some differences at some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't see anything.
It's not
really
completely
changing.
out of this world. Tegan could win and justice prevails, and we could move on to another feud. So that could happen.
Truth and Justice is dead.
Truth is Justice is dead. You need to change your thing then.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm dead on the inside.
All right, so me, Joe, and CJ taking Dakota Kai, Jimmy with Tegan Knox. All
yes.
right,
next
match.
up is the Broserweights taking on UE for the NXT Tag Team Championships.
This is a tough one.
Joe has the Undisputed Era.
This is a tough one.
I have the Broserweights.
Interesting.
I also have the Broserweights.
So wait, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't
The slow decay of the Undisputed Era and it ends at TakeOver?
At Mania.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are thinking the same exact thing.
I have UB.
Yui?
Okay.
Yui?
So does Joe.
Well, I didn't watch I haven't watched any NXT, so I have like no like real.
Stop saying it. You're breaking my heart. We know it. Can you just not say it?
So
God.
all I know is Yui's like a strong tag. So like I guess
See,
I guess it could blow up. Like I don't know.
I keep up with Bleacher, so I know exactly what's going on.
So at least you know something going on.
I know exactly what's going on.
So here's the deal. The Broserweights won the Dusty Classic.
That I know.
So ever since then, they have basically been like their popularity right now is through the stratosphere.
Did you see
Matt Riddle did a whole thing about Bobby Fish. It was like how much fish could
Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish.
Yeah, and something as silly as that, like the crowd was chanting it for like 5 minutes.
I know there was
He
also
is
a
so
segment
over.
where he was like, "Oh, I got us a ride to Portland."
Yeah.
And then Dunn's like, "How'd you get this?
Yeah, so
Whose plane is this?"
Yeah,
and then they're all in like the little bunker and they took
Triple H's plane.
Yeah, they just stowed away on Triple H's plane.
Yeah, there was a
with
whole
the title, with
there were
the trophy.
There were whole segments this past Wednesday. There were like 3 or 4 segments about their road to Portland, about the two of them just trying to get to Portland. They got like pulled over. They had their car towed. I mean, it's so over right now that I feel like it's just going to be one of those things where it goes to partly of how I see the UE eventually losing their titles, and it's also one of those things where it's like strike while the iron's hot.
Yes.
These guys are white hot right now. It is crazy. It may eventually disintegrate, and you may see a Dunn-Riddle feud, which, again, would be fine, and it could happen now. But what I see is you just strike while the iron's hot. These guys are so over right now. They're so over. And they're not just over. They're amazing as a tag team. When they won the Dusty Cup, they were so good. They're so good in the ring.
Their styles really complement each
Yeah,
other. They're both
crazy.
hard-hitting, submission-based
I
styles.
did not expect it at all, it to be as good as it is.
Both of them wrestled at PWG. Like they wrestled at Gorilla.
Yeah, but
each other or together?
Together.
Together. But I still it's hard to just keep such a good. Their chemistry is unbelievable. So yeah, I'm with CJ here. I think it's one of those where it's just like strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah.
All right, I could see that point.
So we got 2 for the UE and 2 for the Broserweights.
Yep. And it's a tough match to call.
Jared, can you stop picking my choices?
Listen, man, I'm just trying to live my life.
All right. Next up, NXT North American Championship. Keith Lee taking on Dominik Dijakovic.
Keith Lee.
Yeah.
And Joe has Keith Lee.
Keith
This
Lee.
one's easy. I mean,
where do you see this ending at like TakeOver? All right, so we have John Cena as a potential. It may or may not happen. I could see that, especially to boost up ratings.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena just popping up on NXT.
That would be
Oh.
That would be crazy.
Oh my God.
If John Cena pops up at NXT, I will immediately start watching NXT.
If
that would
John
be crazy.
Cena shows up on NXT to challenge Keith Lee,
I would.
There's no way
immediately
this
be
happens.
like,
I don't think it'll
changing
happen.
channel now.
Yeah, right.
Imagine.
Oh my
Like
God.
that's the Mick Foley moment right
Oh
there. It's
my
just
God.
changing the channel.
Just imagine you hear ding.
Yeah.
ding.
Da, 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 da.
John Cena sucks. Oh man.
You're not even going to get that chant because you're just going to get utter shock. Like, the crowd won't even be able to form a chant because John Cena will be on NXT. Like, that's crazy.
Bask in his glory. No, it doesn't work.
What?
Bask in his glory.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm like, one more syllable.
Oh, my God. He's limitless?
Don't you?
No,
forget
no,
about
no.
Keith.
No.
All right. But as far as this match in the immediate, Keith just got it. We're going to see an amazing match because these two are just...
Unless
This
you
is
get
what
a
their
house
fifth.
fight between...
This is like their 5th match against each other, though. Correct.
They're on-
Fourth,
They're on
I believe.
1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie.
And I think that's it.
And
I
then
think
you
this
had
is
the
the
Roddy
fourth.
match.
Right. So I think this is their fourth.
This is their rubber match.
Yeah, because I think DD won the first one, Keith Lee won the second one, and then they had a no contest, and now we have this one.
Yes.
All right. So it's
So
like
this
pretty
is the
dead even. Like I
official-
kind of respect that.
This is the official blow, and they've done something different in every match. So this is it. This is the end of their feud, and you're gonna see just ridiculousness. But of course, Keith Lee just got it. He's over as hell. Keith Lee retains.
Yes. Next up, we have NXT Women's Championship match. Rhea Ripley defends against Bianca Belair.
Ripley. Yeah, this is very similar to the Keith Lee one. It's going to be a great match, but Ripley just got it. Do you think
Rhea Ripley... we know Endgame's Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
Should Bianca Belair be introduced into that match?
Nope.
Okay.
No, because she doesn't deserve it, or no, just because it would kind of like ruin
the second one.
Now,
she's really good,
now,
but like,
do you think this should be a TakeOver match or a WrestleMania match?
Who are we talking about? Charlotte Ripley? Oh, WrestleMania. Oh my God.
Does she defend a TakeOver then?
No. I think she defends at Mania.
I don't have.
I think she defends at Mania.
Yeah, I feel like it would be better if it was defended at Mania. I feel like it would, elevate the NXT Championship for what it's worth. And then secondly, I feel like that would actually be the better match to watch. Because I kind of had a problem with Charlotte winning the Rumble just because, like...
Well, I didn't like it, but then I see the outcomes of it. Because I wanted Baszler to win the Rumble and face Becky, and then hearing that Charlotte and Ripley were together. So we're going to get the same match. It's just interesting how they got there.
No, but that's what I mean, though. Like, just like, you kind of expected, like, oh, Charlotte's just going to go for another main roster title. But it's like, oh, now it's actually something different.
Because no one considered the NXT Championship.
No. Right. So I was not expecting that, which is why it made it better. So I kind of respect the fact that they're kind of doing this. Now... I want Rhea Ripley to continue winning, but also at the same time,
Charlotte Flair.
It's Charlotte Flair. Like we kind of have to put that in perspective. Like there's a huge possibility of her getting that title.
Do we see Charlotte Flair winning the SmackDown Women's Championship and then having a title feud?
No.
No, God, no.
Winner takes all.
No, God, no. It would ruin. No. Not only would it ruin, I think, the specialness of how the NXT Women's Championship would be defended on Mania, it would just utterly destroy Bayley.
Yeah, chances are, it
would utterly destroy Bayley.
I'm going to level with you guys. I hate her. I think she's awful right now, Bayley. I think she's just
Bayley
terrible.
versus Naomi.
We're going to get Bayley, Naomi, and
I'm fine with that.
I know, but like if you compare it to the other ones,
I think there was an opportunity, and I feel like it got squandered real quick.
Here's the thing.
And I think it's because of who's in charge of SmackDown.
But also,
like, as much as I love Bruce Pritchard, I don't think he knows
but
what
here's
he's
the
doing
thing,
with this.
Here's the thing. Bayley's not good in the ring either right now. She hasn't been good in the ring, and whose fault is that? No, that's on Bayley.
Here's the thing. I've been saying this for years. Bayley's best attribute was and always has been her character. Now, thing is, her character in NXT was the best character in all of wrestling.
But the thing
then she came up here. Her character was neutered. Then she tried turning heel, and that has not worked for her.
But I still feel like we have to look at her in-ring performances.
Her in-ring performance has never been good.
But it's been okay for what it was.
Well, I felt like, you know what it was?
That's a similar thing that like John Cena had back when, because he was okay as well. He wasn't a great wrestler, but
John Cena's a great wrestler.
I think Big Match John
he did 6 moves that were the same and then ended on an AA. Like that's not.
Well,
but to be fair, those were more over than most of the.
Well, no, they were over as hell. But like,
he was also a troll.
Yeah,
he was a troll.
Where the crowd, it got to a point where the crowd hated everything he did, and he feeded into it and became a troll.
But that's part of his. But that goes to CJ's point of character, not his in-ring work.
If John Cena wanted to have a good match, which he did, like with Kurt Angle or something.
He could have it.
He could have it any day of the week.
United States Open Challenge history.
If he didn't want a match, if he didn't want to have a good match, it's because he's trolling your ass. 100%. His finisher is a lightning fist. I mean, he is a. If he didn't want to,
what's better, the lightning fist or
the Judas effect? It's pretty similar. They're both pretty great trolls.
But they're both over. That's
I know.
The thing. And that's what makes John Cena great. Like the fact that he can get a fucking shoulder tackle over.
But John Cena and has to do with his character, though. Like I don't think John Cena. He'll have great matches every. Like I don't think of that. I think of his character.
Bayley's in-ring work would be better if her moves were more over. That's the kicker. No one cares about her in-ring.
I also feel like
no one cares about her character.
But I also feel like she's very slow in the ring. I think she needs to speed up.
Okay.
So was Randy Orton, but like you pop in the RKO,
like
oh,
right. But with Bayley's skill set and how over she is right now, and it's not very, and then you add in the fact that her in-ring is just not very good. She's
That's the
very
thing.
slow. She needs to speed up her matches. She needs to move things
She
along.
needs something because look, a person will overlook like an okay in-ring work if their character is over.
Right.
Just look at the entire fucking Attitude Era.
Yeah, but also the problem
Well,
is...
yeah, like if it's just her character was better, and if she accented that with her moves better, I think it would be better.
And
That's
we're
what I'm
also
saying.
learning
But
the
her-
hard way that Bayley cannot be the best in-ring performer. in a
She's
match.
not.
No, but I'm saying like she
She's
can't
not-
lead a match.
She's the
She can't
same
do it.
vein of Alexa Bliss, of Carmella, that are character-driven in-ring work.
Yes, but the difference is Alexa's over as all hell.
That's the kicker.
Right.
Carmella was over, and then she left R-Truth. But regardless, I think, Bayley's a whole nother issue unto itself.
Right.
I
But
feel
as far
like
as Ripley is concerned, she has to win here, of course. It's very similar to Keith Lee. She just got it, and after all the fanfare, it's not happening. She's not losing. This is the biggest slam dunk of them all. And then I expect Charlotte to show up tomorrow. I expect Charlotte to be there Sunday and show up and start it. And then I expect it to happen at Mania, where
I just want it solely to be with the NXT Championship. I don't want any mishmashing
No.
of like different titles. Like,
let's just
let this be
I
that.
think
let
they
it be
will.
clean.
I think they're going to do
And
this
then
right.
we'll have the fear of Charlotte winning
No,
the
I-
NXT Championship after that.
I think they're going to do
Like-
this right. No, I really do. I think they're going to do this
I
right.
hope that
think
they
this
do,
whole
'cause I
thing
don't
is
want
they're going to
Charlotte-
put Ripley over at Mania.
Because my fear, and it kind of started with this like back last year, which is why I've kind of been hard on Charlotte for a while, is that they've been kind of Roman Reignsing her
Definitely.
in a way.
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't like that.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
I don't want that to happen with Charlotte.
The
She
thing
is
with-
good. I don't
well, that's
deny
the
that.
thing. That's the
It's
thing
just-
why Charlotte
That has
is
to
a
be
little.
the cycle, and I feel like Charlotte has always just been on the top.
Well,
of it.
that's the
always
thing.
been the problem.
That's the thing why Charlotte has also been easier to deal with than Roman when they Roman her is because she's just better in the ring.
yeah,
Not only-
She has these like I remember where she took the title off of Asuka and we hated it and we're like, why the hell?
I know.
Not
she
only-
but at the
had a
same
huge
match,
shouting match about
but
it.
at the same time, the match itself was unreal. So people were like,
not only
well, that
that,
wasn't good, but boy, the match.
not
was...
only that, Charlotte Flair is a heel as
Right.
a Roman Reigns character.
right.
That's the kicker.
That's another reason. True. Good point. That's another reason.
You know, the thing is that the fans connect to them in different ways. The fact that they connect to Charlotte in a way that they fucking hate her, and she uses that to her advantage, and she's a
And
great
she uses
worker.
it perfectly. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's the full
Versus
package. She's
Roman
probably the
Reigns,
best
where-
women's wrestler in the world right now.
Where versus Roman Reigns, where Roman's had the Roman character. He had a great in-ring work, but the fans were not responding to it.
Right.
You know, they weren't responding to him being a good guy.
And his in-ring work, even though it's very good, is not the level of Charlotte in the women's division.
It's not. You know, he's not a technical wrestler. He's a punch you in your face wrestler. He's a
Right.
brawler.
Right.
You know, but regardless, we're gonna see a fantastic match between Rhea Ripley and Charlotte.
Yes.
I agree with that.
Yep.
I'll agree with that.
All right.
Let's
last
go
match.
to the last match.
Oh boy.
Adam Cole NXT Championship match defending against Tommaso Ciampa,
AKA Daddy.
aka Daddy. Now, Joe has Adam Cole.
Baby.
I also have Adam Cole.
Baby.
Yes. And the reason why is because I think Adam Cole's gonna win by the skin of his teeth, maybe a fucking tights or some shit, and it's gonna be a 4-way. And I see it. NXT TakeOver Tampa. And you have Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. And this is how I see it. I see Adam Cole being the first person eliminated in that match.
Oh, not like a fatal, like an elimination.
It's an elimination.
four-way
Oh, a fatal
elimination.
four-way elimination.
Yes.
Okay.
He gets eliminated. And then Finn Balor gets eliminated. And then
Johnny and Ciampa.
Johnny and Ciampa ending WrestleMania.
Where I would assume Ciampa would probably have to go over, but you never.
I don't know.
You never
But
It
like
could
that's
be
what
either
that's
way.
how I see it.
That would
in
be
the end.
amazing. That would be really.
That's how
really
I see
good.
it because that's the main event.
That would be really
That
good.
is great.
I mean, those are your four biggest stars in NXT.
And especially if they're not gonna have a women's match, they have more time to dedicate to this match.
Right, because I also think to myself, where does Balor, Gargano, Ciampa, and Cole go? I mean, so say Cole, Ciampa, that feud continues. Where do Balor and Gargano go after their match, except for getting inserted? Maybe they go for the North American.
I don't see that until after Mania.
Keith Lee and Balor for the North American, but then Keith Lee's going to lose it because Balor's too. No, but that's interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty much on the same wavelength with you. This whole. I think we agree the whole
Everything.
time.
Yeah, everything.
We've agreed the whole time. I don't think. I think you're going to see the Prophecy slowly lose. If they were going to do where the UE lost all their belts at once, they've missed the opportunity because Strong already lost it. So
I think they're going to do a slow burn.
So they're going to do a slow burn where I think you're going to see
just
Cole is going because you're going to see Yui lose. I think you're going to see Yui lose to the Broserweights, and then regardless of it, you're going to see Strong, O'Reilly, and Fish all come out, and they're just going to will Cole to the finish line. It's going to be dirty as all hell.
Exactly.
But amazing.
And if you look at it, the prophecy was Adam Cole winning the title.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was the Undisputed Era.
Everyone.
And now it's in reverse. Strong loses the belt.
Right.
Then the tag title.
Strong started the prophecy, and now Strong.
No, Strong
completed. Strong completed the initial prophecy or started the
And now it's back in reverse.
And now Strong loses it first, and UE, and then it's going to end with Cole.
And that's my thinking.
And that's my thinking too. So 6, CJ.
I'll agree with that. So that's 4 for Cole.
4 for Cole.
4 for Cole. I agree with that. That
it's
sounds
just not yet.
Pretty.
Ciampa may get it at Mania,
good.
but it's just not yet. It can't happen quite yet.
No, I agree with it. I think it's really I feel like it's a really good idea.
Yep.
Yeah. So, Jimmy, you want to review the picks?
Yes. So
why even review me and CJ? We're just one person for this pay-per-view.
Oh God.
So.
Oh boy.
Keith Lee versus Dominic
Dijakovic.
Don't do this.
No, I'm not gonna.
How could you do this?
Say Dominic.
You're insulting everything I stand for.
I
in wrestling. How could you do this?
It's
to me?
not a tall standing though.
Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee. We all have Keith Lee.
Yes. Thank you. Then we have Dakota Kai versus Tegan Nox. Everybody except for myself have Dakota Kai, and I have Tegan Nox.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Then we have Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano. Everybody except for Joe has Finn Balor, and he has Johnny Gargano.
Okay.
The UE versus the Bruiserweights for
Bruiserweights.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God! Are there 2 Pete Dunnes? I think not.
Imagine that tag team.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, seriously.
The Bruiserweights.
Unbelievable.
Bruiserweights. I'm sorry.
The nerve.
For the NXT Tag Team Championships, the Bruiserweights with CJ and Jared, and me and Joe for UE.
Yeah.
UE?
UE?
Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair for the NXT Women's Championship.
Bianca! No,
don't fuck off. Everybody has Rhea Ripley.
Yes.
And then lastly, Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT Championship. Everyone has Adam Cole.
Baby.
All right. That sounds pretty solid.
There's differences here and there. Me and CJ are 1 in this one.
United. Oh, my God. I swear to God.
Well, no,
I can't get the belt.
I already have the belt. I have the belt.
Fuck.
Here's the thing. If we keep this up until, like, Elimination Chamber and we're all tied still, this is going to be horrific.
Oh, my God.
Good stuff. Good stuff all around. All right. Until next time, enjoy TakeOver.
Woo!
Thank you, everyone, for staying tuned to our podcast. Special shout out to the Sage and Public Library for the continued use of their equipment and space. Hosted by CJ, Jimmy, Joe, and Jared. Produced and edited by Jimmy. Continue supporting us by rating and subscribing through Patreon, Audioboom, Stitcher, TuneIn, CastBox, Deezer, Radio Public, Radio.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts at Live Podcasts. Check out our YouTube channel, Marks for Life Podcast, for our podcast playlist and other content. Please follow us on our social media on Twitter at Marks for Life Pod, Instagram, Tumblr, Reddit, and Facebook at Marks for Lifecast. Marks for Life Podcast at gmail.com for any questions, comments,